Well, Black Myth Wukong finally, 4 years to the date after that first gameplay debut, it's here, Jeremy. And do you think the woke mainstream gaming outlets, you think they thought it was just going to flop, that their influence maybe would stop this game from being a massive success?
Woo! It's a beautiful thing, man. Mainstream games journalists are irrelevant. They do not matter at all. Proof is right here.
When I woke up this morning, I checked it because it was over 1 million last night, just a couple hours after its actual release. And I woke up this morning, I see this. Over 2 million people playing Black Myth Wukong. And you can see that ratio there, pretty high on the like ratio there. 94% of people that have played it have liked it so far. And this is, of course, just on Steam. This is breaking, shattering records everywhere. This is from Grum's Black Myth Wukong by Game Science. Now the number 2 game of all time with nearly 2.2 million concurrent players.
Holy shit.
This is the list. The top played games of all time on Steam. Most of these are multiplayer games, right? It's very rare that you get a breakout like Cyberpunk or Elden Ring that nearly got to 1 million concurrent players on Steam. And now it is the second most played of all time. For a single player game, that is insanity. It doubled up the previous record set by Elden Ring.
Elden Ring. Do you guys remember how big Elden Ring was? And it's doubled Elden Ring. That puts it into perspective right there, because even normies know what Elden Ring is. Even normies knew it. Like, holy shit, Elden Ring, and it's doubled Elden Ring.
You can see as of about right now, there's 2 million people. The peak was at 2.2, probably before people had to start going to work and shit, right? 2.2 million. And I don't know if it can get any higher than that. It potentially could when we see that peak around the same time. But this is a massive, massive success. And some of the gameplay I've seen looks pretty phenomenal. It really does. A lot of people describe it as Souls-like with a mix of kind of the new God of War games as well when it comes to some of the cinematic displays and the way some of the boss fights feel and everything. And right now it's getting a ton of positive feedback, and it is a bigger success than I think any of us actually expected. I thought it might break the record and get to 1 million. That's what I was thinking. It doubled that in
That's
just
crazy.
A few hours.
More than doubled it. More than doubled it. This is the type of game that I would have supported anyway, mainly because the mainstream games journalists have targeted it. But it actually does look good, and people are actually enjoying the game. So you've got the trifecta there. You've got the mainstream games journalists hate it. It's actually made by a quality studio that actually doesn't want politics into it, and people are liking it. So you've got everything going for it. There's no reason to not support this game.
We saw what IGN tried to do by claiming that these developers are misogynist and blah, 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 sexist, all this shit. We saw some of the reviewers bring those lies up in their reviews. We saw some people take points off for lack of diversity. For a game, a Chinese game that is based off a Chinese novel that was written in the 1500s. That's what this is based off of. And you're complaining about lack of diversity.
Huge win across the board, man. Absolutely awesome. Mainstream is melting down, and they are irrelevant. They do not matter, and that's the most important aspect of this.